No, 27 slots. It's been the weather.
Men det virkelig koster det samme, om du tager et
Okay,
stop eller
chicos.
til enden.
Well,
Altså,
I will need that everyone comes a little bit closer, okay? If you don't like the person that is next to you, don't worry, it's fine. He's not going to kick you or bite you, yeah? Okay, guys. Well, welcome. Well, one more time, my name is Estuardo. You can call me Stewie. I'm National Tour Guide. And today I'm going to help you to discover the Quito City, okay? We're going to start visiting this amazing place. But before of that, I would like to know how was the first part of the walking? Did you feel the altitude?
Yes.
It was hard for you? For some of you, yes. For some of you, no. How was the breathing? A little bit difficult? Why? Why do you think it's that, guys?
it's raining.
The altitude of
The altitude. Perfect. Do you know how high is the Quito city?
3,000.
If you know the exact altitude, I will give you a cookie candy.
9,300.
No. If you know the exact altitude, I will give you a free cookie candy. No?
2,800.
Close.
2,700.
Close.
2,750.
No. One more chance. No? Guys, 2,850 meters over the sea level. That is the altitude of the Quito city. You know, when the first constitutions were created, right, the Quito city had the highest capital of the world. But you're going to say, Stewie, that's wrong because La Paz is higher than Quito. La Paz is higher than Quito, but do you know which one is the first constitutional capital of Bolivia? The first official constitutional capital of Bolivia. Do you know the name? Sucre. Sucre is lower than the Quito city. So when the first constitutions were created and declared the capitals, these cities as the capitals, the Quito had the highest capital of the world. So that's why the people of Quito, the Quiteños, they call themselves Quito the God space because they say we are higher than the rest of the capitals. We're close to the heaven. We're going to call ourselves Quito the God space. So I want to tell you guys, welcome to the God space. Okay? So, guys, Quito, it's a very interesting city, right? I will tell you more details later, but it's a very, very interesting city. Just to let you know where you are, guys. You know, every single year we have the famous tourism awards. You know, where they choose the best destinations. And what do you think? Quito won as the leader destination in South America. So Quito won the Oscars of the tourism as the best and the leader destination of all South America. You're going to be visiting the reason why they choose it as the leader destination, the historical center of the Quito city. Okay? So right now, my friends, we're in the outside part of the Quito city, right? Of the historical center, sorry, right? Do you know maybe the name of that church? Maybe you already read something, you saw in internet something about this place because it's visible from the hostel. Do you know the name of the church? No?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, the Ecuadorian Notre Dame, maybe. Okay. So the name, guys, is Basilica del Voto Nacional, but we like to make sure the long names because the people of Quito is very lazy. Yes, and that's why we call La Basilica. Yeah, La Basilica has many interesting things, but one of the characteristics of this is a neo-Gothic style church. The characteristics of the neo-Gothic is that they have these famous mythological animals, the gargoyles, right? But in Ecuador, we're very original in everything. So that's why we replace the gargoyles, instead of the gargoyles, we put some animals of Ecuador. Guys, you're going to focus in the triangles, right? In the base of the triangles, you're going to find some animals. Could you please tell me what kind of animals can you see there? And also, in the other side, in the base of the triangles, you have some animals. We have some there and some over there. Could you please try to recognize which ones those are?
And turtle?
Turtle, yes.
Monkey.
Monkeys, of course. What else?
Sea lions.
Sea lion, yes. What else over there? We have anteaters and jaguars. Where we can find in Ecuador jaguars, anteaters, and monkeys?
Amazon.
The Amazon rainforest. Where we can find sea lions, turtles, and lizards?
Galapagos.
Galapagos, yes, because we wanted to show that Ecuador is a small country, but it's a very rich country because maybe we don't have a lot of money, but we have a lot of natural resources and unique species in all of the planet. So here we have animals from the Galapagos, from the Amazon, and the other side we have animals from the highlands, yes? But one other thing about this, could you try, in the middle of the triangles we have some circles. Could you try to read what it says in the circles? There is one that is very visible. Cuba, yes, right. What else? In the second one, Nicaragua, right? Why do you think, guys, the shells of those countries are there? Any idea?
They supported the reformation of the
Maybe.
church.
Okay, I will give you the answer later. Okay, just to pay attention. Right now, let's go to the next one. Can you see the tower, the highest one in the left side, right? And around the tower, we can see like some animals that are like this. Can you see them? Which animal do you think is that animal?
A monkeys.
No?
The condor.
Condor.
The condor.
The condor. Could you please, my friend, open your arms? Yeah, because you're the tallest one. You know, the condor is the national animal of Ecuador. And when the condor opens the wings, they can reach 3 meters. So similar to our friend when he opens their arms, okay? So the condor is a national animal of Ecuador. It's in danger of extinction. We have less than 100 condors in the whole Ecuador. Some interesting facts of the condor. That's why the condor is there, because it's a very important animal for the country. Is that the condor is some of the animals that they have just one couple in their whole lives, right? Basically, they say that they are the real example of the real love, right? Because they say that they have one couple, and old people, they used to believe that the condors, when one of the couple died, the other one used to fly very high and fly down to the canyons and suicide, or they just they decide to live alone forever. So they are a really good example. Do you know which other animal, which other species is the one that is like this? That is that loves just one couple in the whole life.
Agaporni.
Which one?
Agaporni.
No.
Penguin?
No.
Right with the red parrot caterpillar. I don't know what it's called.
No. Huh? No.
Dolphin.
The Ecuadorians. The Ecuadorians, you can ask them. They just have one couple for their whole life. I don't know if it's not true, it's just a joke. Okay, so guys, we have those details. Right. The last one, and after that we go to the next part because here is very noisy to keep explaining. I will explain you more in the other side. Please pay attention in the roof of the church. You know, most of the material that where the church is made of is stone. But what happened in the roof? What is that?
Iron.
Iron, silver, yes. Why? I have interesting legend of that. Guys, questions about this little introduction of that church? No? If everything is clear, let's go to the front part of the church and I will explain you more interesting things in it, because here is a little bit noisy. Yes? Understood? Perfect. Welcome to the Basilica. You know, the name of that church, La Basilica. But this church, it's similar to other churches in other countries. Where you have seen similar churches like that one?
Europe.
Europe, yes. Someone already told me a name of a church. Notre Dame, right? We're in France. And also, that church is similar to the famous Burgos church in Spain, right? So, why they are similar? Why do you think they are similar? The Spain's built there? Well, they don't build it, the indigenous people build it, but they use it like the plans that were made by the same architect that designed the other churches. The architect was Emilio Tyler, and he was the same one that designed the plans. But of course, the plans of the church arrived later to the country, and they built it using those plans, okay? And you know, most of the buildings, historical buildings here in Quito City were built by the indigenous people. How do you know that? Because instead of the gargoyles, what it was? Animals of Ecuador. Down there in other churches of historical center, for example, there are some details like where you can see, for example, the corn. And the corn, you know, is something from Latin America. So they have like some local things in the Spaniard buildings, okay? Because art was built by them, okay? So my friends, the Basilica has interesting legend. As you remember in the first part, I told you please look at the roof, because it was not made by the sun. Because the church is not finished yet. What do the people believe? So, because you know, 30 years ago, more or less, the people here in Ecuador were very, very Catholic, right? So that's why the people used to believe a lot in the Catholic religious. And they used to believe that if they finish to build the church, a cataclysm is going to come to Ecuador and it's going to destroy all of the world. So basically the end of the world is going to come if they finish to build the church. So that's why in the ancient times the people used to come here and pray and say, please fathers, don't finish the church because we want to live. Imagine, because they were very, very Catholic. They used to believe in the Catholic religion, okay? But yeah, that's why, but it's interesting because they were building this church for more than 150 years and it's still in construction, okay? For example, another way to recognize that it's not finished yet, in the first, like a part, you can see a lot of stages, right? But if you keep going up, you have a lot of empty spaces, okay? That's one of the reasons. The roof and also the behind part of the church is not finished yet. So that's why they say that this is the church, they call it like the church of the end of the world, okay? So, what else, my friends? Can you see the guy with open hands there, over there, right? Who do you think is this person? It's a very important one. Yes, the famous John Paul II. Why is there? Because that church was blessed by him, right? So basically they decided to say, okay, let's say that it's finished because we want that John Paul II bless the church, right? Perfect. Well, do you remember in the circles the name of those countries? I ask you why those countries are there. It's because yes, this church, they started to build the church with the donation of people, and after that with the donation of the countries, okay? Let's go to the other side and we're going to see more countries that donated money for the construction of the church, okay? So, let's go to the other side. Así todo.
Casi no se pone cuadro así en la iglesia si no es porque han colaborado, ¿no?
Claro, por eso. Entonces aquí, me los voy a estudiar. Okay, chicos. Here we have more circles. Could you try to read what it says in the circles?
Paraguay,
Paraguay,
Estados Unidos,
Estados Unidos,
Mexicanos.
Mexicanos. What else?
Panamá.
Panama, right? All of those countries were the ones that donated money for the construction of the church, of course. The last country that donated money was a country of South America, was Colombia in 2015. And after that, no one else donated money. Because you know, nowadays, most of the people have different viewpoint of the religious and everything. So that's why, yes, they have a lot of support until more or less this year. But after that, it's like a lot of people is changing their minds and viewpoints, okay? So people think different right nowadays. So that's why the last country that donated money to Ecuador was Colombia, okay? And also, guys, here we have more animals. And here we can find animals from the highlands of Ecuador. Could you please try to recognize what kind of animals we can see over there? armadillos, pumas, we have the Andean fox, and the first two ones. And we're going to focus in the first two animals over there, guys. With what? No? It's an animal from the highlands.
Capybara?
What?
Capybara.
No? I'm going to help you a little bit, guys. It's an animal that is a very traditional dish of the highlands of Ecuador. Excellent. The
Cuy.
guinea pig. You know, because you're going to say stupid, but this guinea pig looks huge. You know? In some of your countries, guys, this animal is a pet. You have as a pet. Maybe you had as a pet in your maybe some point of your life. But here in Ecuador, well, not just in Ecuador, in Colombia, Ecuador, Bolivia, Peru, we eat them as a traditional food. Okay? I want to explain you a little bit of that because the guinea pig is very important for the indigenous cosmovision. So that's why, guys, I will invite you to take a seat over there in the stairs, and I will explain you a little bit about this cosmovision. Okay? So I think it will be much better there because the sun is very strong. Sí. Sí, es como una representación grande, pero los dos sigue siendo el mismo y al otro lado también tenemos al final y armadillos. Okay, guys. Well, Ecuador, it's a very, very interesting country because, you know, Ecuador is not just nature and animals and endemic plants and animals, right? Also, Ecuador is culture, right? You know, Ecuador has 14 different indigenous nationalities, okay? So that's why in the next part of the tour, we're going to be talking about indigenous people. We're going to talk a little bit about the Incas because they were here, they arrived in the 1432, right? But the Spaniards arrived in the 1535, so the Incas were here for 100 years. In the 1830, when the Spaniards arrived in 1535 and in 1830, finished the colonization, and after that started the Republican time and nowadays. So that is how we are going to divide the walk into, right? So we're going to start talking about first what? The indigenous cosmovision, because we have more and more history about the indigenous communities because they lived here for thousands of years. For example, the name of Quito comes from one of the Asian civilizations, the Quituscaras. The Quituscaras were the first civilization that were living here in this area, all around the Quito city. And do you know what it means, Quito? Quito comes from a Safic language. Qui means center, tu means earth, the center of the earth, because they already know it that they were here in the center of the earth. But how? Using the sun, using the stars, using the moon, okay? So, perfect. And the indigenous people, you know, in Ecuador, we have more or less around 1.2 million indigenous people, like 100% indigenous people. Ecuador has more or less 18 million population, so 1.2 million are 100% indigenous people, okay? We have indigenous people in the highlands, in the Amazon, and in the coast, right? In the Amazon, what the indigenous people use for rituals, for clean your body, they believe a lot in the bad energies. What they use to clean your bodies of bad energies, what they use for as a medicine in the Amazon?
Aloe vera.
Well, plants, right? The plants. There is a really famous plant that they use as a ritual, and nowadays comes to be very commercial, unfortunately. It's
Cocaine.
No, cocaine.
Ayahuasca.
Excellent.
Ayahuasca.
Could you repeat?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca. Yes, the ayahuasca. It's a really famous ritual nowadays for the people that want to have any other kind of experience because some people relate with a very strong drug, right? But the things like in the past, the only people that used to drink the ayahuasca were the shamans. So you know who is a shaman? The spiritual leader of the community, like the doctor of the community. They use the ayahuasca in a way to see the visions, because in the visions they used to see like the future of the community when they need to move, when people were coming to see them or something like that, when they were having problems or something like that, they used to drink the ayahuasca in a way to see what they have to do, and also as a part of the medicine. Yes. And what happened here in the highlands? We don't have as much plants as in the Amazon. What the indigenous people use for the rituals? Guinea pig. But you are going to say, how is that possible that a shaman used the guinea pig in a part of the ritual? I will explain you now. First, the guinea pig is used for food, but they eat the guinea pigs. Why? Because here are much bigger. Depending on which region you are, you can find also 30 centimeters guinea pig. Have you ever tried one before?
Sí.
See? Where? ¿Dónde?
Perú.
Peru? Someone
Cusco.
else? No? If you are here, guys, just if you are vegetarian, you don't have to try. But if you are not vegetarian, you can try one guinea pig. The best places to try the guinea pig is out of the city. Well, we have nice restaurants here in the city, but you know, the chefs, they don't know how to cook a guinea pig. Just the indigenous people, local people, they know how to prepare in a really good way. Okay, so the guinea pig, but indigenous people use just when it's celebrations, when it's Inti Raymi, Pauca Raymi, when they have a big celebration, weddings or something like that, right? The second thing how they use the guinea pigs is a part of the economic, because if you go, for example, to day trip to Quilotoa, you're going to find the families that they grow a lot of guinea pigs, 50, 100, 200, 300. Why? Because when they need something for their houses, they go to sell the guinea pigs in the market and they have money. And the third one is a part of the ritual. But how they use the guinea pig as a part of the ritual? For example, let's say that you feel bad, you feel sick, you don't know what's going on in your body. So you go to the shaman house, right? The shaman says, okay, please take a seat. You have two choices, with your clothes or without your clothes. But of course they put you a blanket, yeah? And the ritual starts, right? If you're just like with bad energy, the shaman takes a guinea pig and he passes all around your body, right? After a few minutes, because they believe that the guinea pig is a very sensitive animal that can absorb the bad energy. So they clean your body, right? But what happens if you're sick? The shaman used the same guinea pig, but at the end of the ritual, right, the shaman has to kill the guinea pig. And the next step is he could here in the middle, open the guinea pig and start to check organ by organ. If the shaman found something dark inside of the body of the guinea pig, it means that in that part you have the sickness, and is that a way how they can? It's like a X-ray in an ancient times. Okay, some people still practice that, but nowadays in the last 10 years, like everything has been changing. A lot of young people are moving to the cities, going out of the country, looking for a better life. But we still are. It's still possible to see that because we still have like the old people that still practice that. And yes, it's like a way how they use the guinea pig. And of course, in the past, nowadays just few families have. But in the past, the people used to live together with guinea pigs because they say that the guinea pigs protect you of bad energies. That's why when if you were invited to their houses and you go inside of the house and all of the guinea pigs start to make the sound of what that means? That you had bad energy. So the next time that you took a guinea pig and it start to make a very strong sound, it means that you have bad energy, that you have to clean your bodies. Okay? Basically, guys, this is like how the indigenous people have their traditions nowadays. Another thing to finish with this part, and after that we go down to the next stop. It's the language. Do you know which one is the second official language of Ecuador?
Quechua?
First is Spanish, but the second one is Quechua.
Quechua.
Quechua, guys, is a language. It's like, for example, Quechua and Quechua is like a Spanish and Portuguese. They sound the same, but they're not the same. You understand some words, but not, okay? So Quechua is a language that is spoken in Peru, right? The indigenous people of Peru. But here in Ecuador, guys, we speak Quechua. Yes, we speak Quechua. And I want to teach you three very common expressions in Quechua that we use all the time. Even if you don't know Quechua, you are going to know that expression, right? Most of the people just say it, but they don't know what it means. The first one, and the most important one, is when it's super cold, when it's freezing. Do you know which one is the expression? Maybe you heard before about that. You don't remember? Okay, so the expression, guys, is achachai. Could you repeat after me?
Achachai.
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 What that means? It means cold or freezing. If you pay attention, if it's raining at night or you go to Coropax, if you see Ecuadorians, the first thing that we say when it's cold is achachai que frío. It's like saying it's cold 2 times, okay? The opposite when it's super warm like today. For example, right now it's not very strong, but in the middle of the day it's going to be super strong, the sun. So when it's burning, you have to say arrarai. Could you repeat after me?
Arrarai.
Arrarai. Yes, arrarai. When it's super warm, super hot. Or, for example, you're eating a dish of soup. You take a spoon and you eat, and the soup is burning, and you get burned. You say arrarai, and some bad words at the end, but you don't have to learn the bad words. Just arrarai. And the last one is how to say thank you. Thank you so much in Spanish is
Gracias.
gracias or muchas gracias. How do you say in Quechua? You by chani, right? You by chani. But it's a long way to say thank you so much. But here in the cities, if you go to the local markets, let's say that you buy 10 apples and you want to say gracias or thank you can tell them pai. Like this, pai.
Pai.
Pai. Pai means like a thank you. You go to the store, you buy something and you say pai, and you can add besi at the end. Besi is the expression. You can call everyone here besi. It's like the slang of vecino. Vecino is neighbor. Basically, besi you can call to everyone. You can make the proof today. You're walking on the street and you see someone friendly, say hi besi or hola besi. They're going to say hello besi, right? So you can say when you go to buy something in the stores on the market, you can say bye besi, right? It's a very local way to say it. And the last one is not Quechua, but it's one of the expressions that you need to learn if you're in Quito, if you're in Ecuador, that you can use for everything. This word means super cool, cool, good, nice, awesome. The word is chévere. Could you repeat after me?
Chévere.
Chévere. You can use chévere for everything. For example, they say, okay guys, how was the Cotopaxi day trip? You can say was chévere. How was the food?
Chévere.
Chévere. How are you? Chévere. You know, you can answer with chévere with everything, but basically means cool, super cool, right? So you can say chévere for everything. If you want to also sound more young, like a young person, yes, you can say chévere, right? For everything you can use chévere. And if you pay attention when the Ecuadorians are speaking, we use chévere everywhere, okay? And also, for example, let's say that we are talking and my friend is telling me, hey Stewie, I'm going to hike Cotopaxi, and I tell him, chévere, have a good luck. Something like that, okay? So guys, these are some of the expressions that maybe you need to learn. I don't tell you more because it's hard to remember, but I at least those 4 of them. Achachay, arraray, pai besi, and chévere. So now with that expressions, maybe you can looks like Ecuadorian and try to make a conversation. If you answer with chévere, the Ecuadorian is going to assume that you understood everything. So you can just say chévere. Okay? Guys, question about this part? No?
When it was built?
Huh?
When it was started to be built?
Well, they say that was in the 1924, right? 1924 is when they finished to build the church. But how I told you, it's not finished yet. It's still in construction because they have many parts that are still in construction. Okay?
When did they start?
Como en 1897 más o menos, 1897 more or less, they started because it was a big process, but they say that it was finished in the 1924, but how you know it's not finished yet, it's still in construction, okay? Así que, how I told you, they said when they finish, the end of the world is going to come. It's true? We don't know. It's just maybe a legend, okay? Chicos, otra pregunta? Any other question?
Is chévere used in any other countries in South America?
Yes, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru. Yes, Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, they also use chévere. So I thought that we were the only ones, but when I met people from Colombia and Venezuela, they used to speak the same, chévere. So it's used in these 3 countries. Yes? So you can use chévere in Peru, Colombia, and Venezuela as well. So if you go there. Okay? Guys, if you're ready, let's go down. We're going to go down now to the historical center of the Quito city. We're going to go 2 by 2. And try to don't spread out, okay? Let's go together. The next stop is a museum. After the museum, we go down to the plaza, maybe to try some candies or something like that, some ice creams. We go to the historical center, a little bit of history of the Republican time there. We go to a chocolate factory to have a chocolate tasting, and we finish in a place where they sell empanadas and some natural juices. And after that, we go back to the hostel. Okay? So let's go, my friends. Let's go to. Pero dentro del municipio está dividido en parroquias. Valle, Buena Fiesta, Rayo. So, okay, guys, we can make like a circle. Great, perfect. So, if you don't mind, we can take a seat on the ground. It's fine. We can take a seat on the ground. Nice. So, we're going to visit just this place, okay? Because there are many more rooms, but we're going to just visit that one. Okay, as you can see here, we have more bones. Interesting to see if they're real human or animal, right? Okay, so, well, let's start talking about these groups, right? The pictures of this one, that one over there, and the other two of them, okay? So those three pictures are of one of the most famous indigenous groups of Ecuador, right? So, have you ever heard about the Otavalo, Otavaleños? And maybe in your tree plants are going to be Otavalo somewhere there, right? So this indigenous group are the Otavaleños. And how you can recognize that the indigenous group is from the highlands or from the Amazon? Because of the clothes. For example, as you can see here, so the men have the poncho. The poncho is very, very traditional. So that's why the Otavalo is very famous for the Ponchos Plaza, by the way. So you know the Ponchos Plaza is considered one of the biggest of South America. So, but the best day to visit the Ponchos Plaza in Otavalo is Saturdays, because in Saturdays it's not just the square. It's like a 3-4 blocks in each direction on the streets full of people selling things. Okay. Well, the Otavaleños is a very, very interesting group of people because they are being recognized for in many different countries, not just in Ecuador, in like Europe, United States, in other countries. But why? You know, guys, we had a very big economical crisis in Ecuador, so that's why we changed our currency. I will explain you more down there in front of a bank. But well, this process happened, when we started to use the US dollars and the economical crisis were in Ecuador, a lot of people, they left the country. Not just the regular people, also the indigenous people, they left the country because it was impossible to live here. Some banks broke down, they lose all their money. So a lot of young people, they left the country, right? And also people from Otavalo. But the Otavaleños, even if they left their towns, wherever they went to United States, to Spain mostly, and in those countries, they started to work making music. Do you know which one is the traditional music of Ecuador? Folklore, the same as in other Andean countries, but they used to play folklore, they used to make handicrafts. That was the way that how they used to work. And also, even if they were out of the country, they were still using the traditional clothes. The men were having the long hair, like a very, very important symbol of this community. So that's why they started to be famous all around of the world, because they were keeping their tradition, even if they were not here in Ecuador, yes? So that's why nowadays, guys, when you go to Otavalo, you are going to see that the market is in the middle of the city, and you're going to see street. How is that possible that the market is in the middle of the city? It's because, you know, they developed with the pass of the years. When the people were working in other countries, they started to send money back to Ecuador. And the families that were here, they started to build houses for commercial things around the plaza. So that's why nowadays when you go to Otavalo, you're going to see that it's a city. Because sometimes when we think about indigenous people, we thought that it's like just a little village in the middle of nowhere, okay? But it's a city, so they built a city. And actually, like there are many small banks, like 3-4 small banks in Otavalo, and the owners are from Otavalo. The people that work are from Otavalo, so they are a very good example of development. So that's why, yeah, this is one of the most important ones, okay? So these indigenous people, why they have the long hair, men and women, because their god is the sun. And they believe that when they have the long hair, right, the sun, the god sun gives them energy, and the energy comes from their long hair. And also the long hair is it's a meaning of that they are very strong. Okay? So yeah, this is a little bit about this indigenous group, the Otavaleños. If you have the chance to go there, it's very nice. It's super nice. And also this market, it's not like in other countries. I heard from a lot of people that they say, Stewie, those handicrafts are real or they are from China? Because they say that in other countries they have similar things but made in China. We say no. The Ecuadorian is really proud of where they come from, and they don't like this. So they make there, so the things that you buy there in Otavalo are made like machines or by them, but the owners are the people that are selling there. Okay, so if you go to buy something there, they're buying directly to the owners. Okay, so yeah, this is about this indigenous group. Now let's talk about the other three paintings over there. From where they come from. From the Amazon, because in the Amazon is warm and humid. Yes, in the highlands is achachay, but in the Amazon is araray, right? So, but that's why they are using like a less clothes than in other places, okay? But you know, we have also many indigenous groups in the Amazon as well. Actually, the indigenous people of the Amazon were they like this region were like the region that were not conquered at all by the Spaniards. Because when the Spaniards wanted to conquer those territories, they arrived with everything, like all the equipment for the war and everything. But in the Amazon is warm, and in the jungle, you know, the indigenous people they know it how to move in the jungle, how to survive in the jungle. They put a lot of traps, and that's why the Spaniards were not able to conquer most of the towns of the Amazon. Yes, so that's why in Ecuador, in the Amazon region, close to Yasuni National Park, we have one of the nationalities that they have two groups that are not contacted groups. This nationality are called the Guaranis. The Guaranis is like a big nationality, but they are divided in small groups. Two of those groups, they decided to don't have contact with the civilization. Those are the Tagaeras and Taromenanis. So we don't know how many people in each group lives there, how they live, what is like the food, the customs. We don't know nothing about them because they decided to live a part of the world. And actually, the Constitution says that if they decided, the government is going to respect their territory. So that's why if you cross their territory, you're in their hands. If they kill you or something happen, the government can't do anything against that. Okay? But there is another group, the indigenous group of the Amazon, that is called the Shuars, and they used to practice a very interesting tradition. Nowadays not, because in the 1965 more or less, they were not doing that anymore. They used to reduce the human heads. Have you ever heard about that? If you go to the Quito City, the Museum of the Equator, you're going to see a real reduced human head, right? So why they used to reduce the human head? Because you know they were also a big nationality, and in the nationality were divided in small groups, and they used to fight in the past for the territory, for the food. So that's why when let's say that this group won this group, and she is the leader of the group, so the leader of this group used to kill her head, and reduce the head because they used to say that they want to keep the spirit inside of the head because in that way she is not going to do anything against to him. Okay, so they used to reduce the heads, and also was for the chiefs of the communities were like a trophy or just as a necklace, right? So they used to have human heads. But what happened before of the like in 1950 more or less, they started to traffic the reduced human heads, right? So that's why in the black market they used to pay around like a $14,000–15,000 approximately for the real reduced human heads. Actually, I have a friend that he's from England and he's married with a lady from the Amazon, and she is from the Shuars. And I talked with her many times, and she told me that is real. And when she was a child, like one person of the community used to like catch the gears of the kids and reduce their heads. So she told me that she escaped from him, and his father was the leader, and she told the father that he was doing that, and the father prohibited him to be in the community again. So yeah, that's why I can say that that was true that they used to reduce the human heads. Nowadays they practice, but they just do with the head of the sloths, with monkeys, but not anymore with humans. Okay, but yeah, that is also very interesting that what they used to do until the 1965, 60 more or less. They used to practice those kind of traditions, okay? So, and, I finished with that small part. Have you ever heard about the chicha? You know the chicha? Chicha, the beverage, the drink, yes?
Like chicha morada?
Yes, the chicha, it can be made with many different products. In the highlands, it's made with corn, because the corn were the most important product for the highlands, for the people of the highlands. And in Amazon, they do with the yuca. You know yuca, casabe? Yes, they used to do yuca. In the highlands, it was fine because they used to make the chicha. The chicha was like a refreshing drink, and also when you let ferment the chicha for more than 15 days, it used to be like has an alcoholic, tastes like an alcohol. So they used to use for a party because also people party a lot, right? So and yeah, and actually dance folklore is not complicated, right? It's very easy. It's not complicated. Maybe later if we have a space and a place, I will show you. Okay. So and in the Amazon, before these years as well, the ladies in the community to prepare the chicha with the yuca, they used to go like in the mornings, 5:30 a.m. like this, just the ladies, big recipient and a lot of yuca next to you. the ladies used to mask the yuca and spit in the big recipe. And this helps for the fermentation, and the people used to make chicha like this in ancient times. Nowadays, they do just with the sweet potato. So they found a new way to ferment the yuca, but in the past, they used to mask the chicha. And in the past were very offensive if you didn't receive it. They offer you, but if you don't receive it, was very offensive. But nowadays, if you visit the communities but very deep in the jungle, I think you're going to be fine. But you can drink, and it's made with sweet potato, okay? So if you want to visit communities or something like that, I would recommend you Pastaza province, for example, the Quichuas, or you can go maybe to the Guaranis. And those territories are very deep in the jungle. Actually, you have to take a small airplane and many days into the jungle. Or if closer ones that are more friendly, for example, in Cuyabeno National Park and Yasuni National Park, you can find some communities. Okay, so yeah, it's very, very interesting, and live with them, stay with them, and learn in the territory about them. It's very interesting. Okay, so the next time you have chance to try the chicha in the restaurants, you can chicha with guinea pig. That would be great. Okay, so guys, yes, this is a little bit about this museum, and all of this museum is in honor of Camilo Egas, because he tried to show the rest of the people that it's not just Catholic things, it's indigenous people, indigenous cosmovision, indigenous traditions. Okay, so questions? No? I hope. Panecillos of the south. So now you know that it's north, south, east, and west. And the hostel is in the east part of the basilica. Okay? So you can take a photo. Guys, well, we don't see many flowers here, but in the balconies of the historical center of the Quito city, we're going to see a special flower. Well, you can see there, but it's very small. If you can recognize, great. If not, I will show you later. And this plant is a very important of the history of Ecuador. Okay, guys, everyone is here. Now we're going to go inside of the Arzobispal Palace. This place is a very important place where they sell traditional food and also traditional candies. Okay, because we are a little bit a big group, we're going to go inside to the patio. We're going to take a seat in the stairs, and I will bring for you the snacks, and I will explain you what they are, and also I am going to give you the tips. Okay, so let's go inside, my friends. Yeah. We're going to make like a semi-series, okay? I will explain you really quick, and after that, if you want, you can fight, okay? Solo les voy a explicar. Sí, sí. Yeah. Okay, guys. So, come a little bit closer, guys. Just give a space there where people can walk. Great. So, guys, very important things here. Here we can see one of the most traditional ice creams of the Quito city. This ice cream is called helado de paila. Why? Because it's made in a paila. Do you know what? This is the paila. So I need the help of one person. You look strong. Could you please take the paella with your hands and show them? Is heavy or is not heavy?
It's not very heavy.
It's not very heavy? Okay. But keep there. Okay? Guys, can you see here what we have here? Okay, you can put again. Thank you. Okay, so this traditional ice cream, guys, is called helado de paella because it's made in a paella. And how they made the ice cream? They have big pieces of ice, they have sea salt, and over the sea salt they put the paella. And over the paella they put the pulp of the fruit and a little bit of sugar, right? And they have to move the paella around, right, like this, for more than 25 minutes with the pulp of the fruit inside. And you have to keep moving for more than 20 or 25 minutes. And after that, the ice cream is going to be ready. This is a very, very traditional ice cream of the Quito city, okay? So, if you can buy later. Just let me finish this plane. Here we have some of the flavors, but let's talk about the two important ones. Can you read what it says here? Naranjilla. Do you know what is naranjilla? No? And that one, do you know? Can you read? Taxo. Do you know what is taxo? No? Those fruits are fruits that are original from South America. You are not going to find in the United States or Europe, never in your lives, okay? So the first one, the naranjilla, or in Colombia they call lulo, okay? The naranjilla, it's a very typical fruit. It's funny because sometimes when I give to taste people, they say, wow, it tastes like a kiwi. But for me, it's very sour, right? Doesn't have any flavor. Because here the fruits and everything is much nicer. Yep. The naranjilla, it's a fruit that grows in the Amazon. The smell is very good. So, and it's very nice. And the other one that is taxo, we call banana passion fruit because it looks like a small banana and inside looks like a passion fruit. Okay? So they are the two popular fruits of this area, and they are very, very interesting. Okay? So you can buy later. First, let me to finish this like this. Okay? So now let's move. Okay, stay there. Don't worry. Okay, guys, move a little bit to the next one, okay? And after that, you can bite if you want. Okay, guys, a little bit more. Okay, so guys, the name of that snack is one of the traditional snacks of Quito. It's called caca de perro. Do you know what it means in English? Yes? It's the most tasty dog's poop of your life, right? Basically, what it is, are you allergic to something? Allergies? Something that you don't like? Something that you hate? No? No? Okay. So, let's take one at a time. And try to discover what is this? What product is this? What is that? You already discovered what is that? What?
I like regular cakes, like honey.
Okay, what is that?
Green or something.
Corn.
Yeah.
It's corn, and the sugar is called panela. Panela basically is the juice of the sugar cane. How we make panela? We extract the juice of the sugar cane and we boil for hours and hours and hours, and we have this kind of brown sugar that is panela. Okay, so that one was like the typical snacks of the colonial republican times mostly. You know how what the mothers used to send to the kids for as a snack was corn. That's why the people of ancient times they were healthier and stronger than people of nowadays. Okay, the next one. The next one, guys, is that one. It's called pájaro azul. What is that? It's called mistela. What is mistela, my friends? I'm going to explain you. The mistela is a very traditional candy that appeared during the Republican time. You know, as you know, in ancient times, the ladies were not able to drink. They were not able to go to party. They were not able to do many things because that was the society of those days. Okay, but For example, the ladies discovered, because they were not able to drink, but they discovered, they found a way to drink. That one looks like a candy. Looks like a candy, right? But inside they have alcohol, they have liquor. Because it looks like a candy, that was the way that how the ladies found a way to drink in the past, okay? Very intelligent. So right now, guys, you're going to show me your hands like this. Don't press the candy. In your hands like this, and after that you put it in your mouth, okay? That one, this liquor that is, they have many flavors. There's not just alcohol. They have whiskey, vodka, tequila, many of them. But that one, the Pájaro Azul is one of the traditional alcohols or liquors of Ecuador, okay? So maybe that is a sweet way to get drunk. If you don't want, just say no, okay? Or you put it in your mouth and
So if you eat enough, you would actually like feel.
yes, if you eat right now you're going to feel it, yes. But you're not going to get drunk, that's for sure. You need at least one of these boxes to get drunk, or maybe not. This one is a very strong. If you don't want, just say no, no worries. Right. If it falls down, it's because you really want to drink alcohol tonight.
Lo mismo sabor con aguardiente.
Sí, es anisado.
Sí.
Y se llama pájaro azul, ¿por qué?
Es como aguardiente, aguardiente.
So guys, the name of those candies, mistelas. There are just few places in Quito where they are still selling. You know, it's been disappearing with the pass of the years, but it's a very tradition. Nowadays it's a candy, but the history behind of that is what I told you before, okay? So my friends, for chocolates you have to wait later, okay? We're going for chocolate later, okay? But if you would like to buy maybe an ice cream, would you like to buy maybe a candy, I will give you like 3 minutes more or less. I will wait you like 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes, and I will wait you outside in the patio. I'm going to be there, okay? If you want to buy something here, if you want to buy ice creams or some candies, you can buy here, and I wait you outside, okay? So see you outside in 5 minutes to keep going with it, okay? So it's your time, my friends.
I like that.
Okay, can you listen? Can you listen to me? Great. Okay, guys. The name of the restaurant that is at the top, Hasta la Vuelta Señor, it has a legend, okay? You know, most of the legends in the historical center of Quito are related with alcohol, yes? The legends say that one of the first churches of the historical center that is outside of this area is called San Diego, yes? Exists a father that was called the Father Almeida. And the legends say that the Father Almeida, well, he used to escape during on Fridays nights to go to drink. Yeah. So, but how the father used to escape? Because if he goes out from the main door, of course the people are going to see him. How he used to escape from the church? The legends say that in the church was like a priest, right? That he used to climb through the priest. There was a window next to this priest, and he used to escape, right? So the legends say that he used to escape every single night to go to drink, right? But one day, the legends say that the priest started to talk, and he told Father Almeida, until when, Father Almeida? Until when? And the Father Almeida said, until I came back, sir, right? This night, when the Father Almeida left the church and he went to drink, he drank too much. When he was coming back to the church around 3 a.m. in the morning, he saw a funeral. He saw like a lot of people crying behind a box. And he started to ask to the people, hey, who is this person? Who is this person? And no one gave him an answer. But when he got closer to the box, he opened the box, he saw himself inside of the box. So that's why the Father Almeida, that he was like a drunk, the drunk disappeared, and he ran back to the church. And he started to say to the priest, please, forgive me, I'm not going to never drink anymore, and I'm going to donate this money for the people that need. So the legend says that after this day, the Father Almeida closed the window and he never drank again in his life. And that legend is like a little bit real because the church exists. It's called San Diego. And when you go in front of the San Diego church, it's you can see like the square where was the window that is covered with the stars. So this is the legend of this restaurant. Hasta la vuelta sí. Okay? But this restaurant is very good. If you want to buy some like Ecuadorian local food, I will highly recommend to go there to try some Ecuadorian. Okay? So that's all for now. Sorry?
Is the church where you can drink inside the church?
Church where you can drink inside in Quito? No, but there is a place. There is a place that is called next to the Central Market. That is called El Bandido. In the past was a small church, and right now they still have like the tables and the all of this. And there you can go to drink a beer, right? But nowadays it's not a church anymore. But was a church in the past, and they sell beers inside. It's called El Bandido, and it's next to the Central Market. So if you want to drink in a church, but it's not a church anymore, you can go to drink there. Okay? So guys, how is the ice cream? All good? You like it? Now guys, let's go to the next part that is the historical center and we go to the chocolate factory, okay? Because the rain is coming. Chicos, please come closer, come closer. I forgot my microphone, so it's a little bit noisy, but yes, come closer. Okay, guys, we're right now inside in the main square, the Independence Square, Plaza Grande, Plaza de Armas, right? Is the name of this plaza. But this plaza has another nickname. Can you please look around and try to guess the other nickname of this plaza? Something with white? No?
Los giros.
What?
Giros? Los giros,
No,
¿no?
no. Pay attention to the plaza and try to guess the other nickname of this plaza.
Blanco. Plaza Blanco.
No? Guys, the other nickname of this plaza is the Retired People Square, because as you pay attention, you're going to see a lot of retired people here taking a seat. Because the people of Quito, they prefer to come here, to take a seat, to read the news, to talk with the other people, because that was like how they used to have a conversation in the past. They don't need WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, no. They prefer to come here, take a seat, just watch the people walking around, or just read the news, or they prefer to like to talk between their friends, okay? That's why it is called as well the Retired People Square. We're in the most important plazas of the historical center of the Quito city, okay? Here we can see 4 different important things. The first one, well, on the other side is the white building in front with the flag at the top. That one is the Presidential Palace, right? Over here, on my left side, we have the cathedral, the main cathedral church, okay? Over there, the plaza where we were, the Arzobispal Palace, and behind the Municipal Palace. In the past, they were representing the 4 powers. The power of the government, the power of the church, because you have to remember that the church was an institution in the past, the power of God and the power of the people. Okay? And this monument, my friends, is one of the most important ones of the historical center of Quito. Can you read what it says, my friends, in the center, in the letters? To the heroes of the 10th of August of 1809. Do you know, guys, the other nickname of the Quito city is Quito, Light of America. Why do you think that Quito was called Light of America? Any idea? Quito, Light of America. Because close to the sun, maybe? No? Because Quito, guys, because Ecuador in the past was called San Francisco de Quito. After the 1830 we were called Ecuador, but before that we were San Francisco de Quito. That's why I say Quito. So Quito was the first country that were declared as a free from the Spaniards after 300 years of the colonization. In which day? In the 10th of August of 1809. The 18th of August of 1809, just to make sure the history, the people of Quito, they were declared free from the Spaniards, right? So, but that was just the beginning of the independence process. Because, you know, we were not the first ones that we were independent, but that was the reason that all of the countries of South America saw that and they said, okay, if Quito was able to be free after 300 years of the colonization, we can be free. And other countries like Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, Chile, they started to fight for the freedom, right? After this date of the 10th of August of 1809. So that's why Quito is called the Quito Light of America, because we were the light that helped for the independence process in all America, okay? But in this year, we had the freedom after 300 years of the colonization. But what happened? 1 year later, the 2nd of August of 1810, the Spaniards came back and they took again the control of the city, right? And they killed more than 300 people, all of the people that were part of the first independence process. So in the 2nd of August of the 1810, right? But to keep going, in the year of the 1822, we had one of the last battles against the Spaniards, the 24th of May of 1822, the Pichincha battle, when we were free from the Spaniards. But when started the independence process? 1809. Which one was the first country that started with this independence process? Ecuador. In which year? In 1809. So that's why this monument is one of the most important for the history of all South America. Okay? And finally, in the 24th of May of 1822, we won the battle. We won the battle against the Spaniards, but we were not fighting alone. They were fighting soldiers from Argentina, from Peru, from Venezuela, from Colombia. They were like a many countries fighting together for the freedom of this country. Okay, so yes, and finally in 1830, Ecuador created the first constitution, and we were declared finally as a republican country in 1830. Okay, but that monument, guys, represents all of that in the most important date of the history of Ecuador and all South America. Yes, so. We have some interesting things here. The first one is the lion. The lion is representing Spain. You see like it has like a hole here in the next to the leg. It means like the Spaniards that are here going out of the city, giving pass to the freedom. The next one, can you see the condor? Yeah, the condor was made in Italy. What do you think, guys? Do you found condors in Italy? No, right? How do you think they made a exact similar condor? Because they sent more than 14 condors from Quito, from Ecuador, to Italy, and they were able to make a similar condor, right? So, as the condor represents Ecuador, and the condor is breaking the chain, right? It's breaking the chain because he's saying, okay, finally we are free. Okay. And at the top, guys, you can see the great god called Libertas. The ideology of this god is like you're not going to be free if you don't fight for the freedom. So that's why in the left hand you can see like a small box with some guns, because they say yes, if you want the freedom, you have to fight for the freedom. And in the right one, we have this tea that is, in the Olympic Games is where they use it, and also means that Quito Light of America. Already the history that okay. So it's like some of the interesting details of this monument that is one of the most important ones here in the historical center. Okay. So wait for you. ¿Quieres hacer una buena toma? Puedes subir a las gradas de arriba. Al final de la última grada puedes ver todo alrededor. Sube nomás. ¿Vale? Es que el león, cerca de aquí de la pierna, tenía un hueco. Entonces, básicamente estaba con su España herida, dando paso a la la diosa de libertad, que es la diosa romana, que es la diosa de la libertad. No hay libertad porque no hay una mata tenía
Viva Belcebú, viva, ¿no?
Permiso.
Y vamos a ver.
Esto.
Okay. So guys, our friend is going to invite us this, okay? What's your name? Bob is going to invite us this thing, okay? You can take him, okay? Guys, this is a very traditional snack of the historical center. Well, once you arrive to the airport of Quito, you're going to... Hello, Bob. Once you arrive to the airport of Quito City, you're going to see a person like him, like the same picture, right? Because he's selling one of the most traditional snacks of the Quito City, right? This one is made with Malta, you know, one of the ingredients to make the beer, to ferment the beer. Basically, it has a little bit of alcohol, right? So that the people in the parties, in the ancient times, they used to eat that in a way to like to bring a little bit, okay? So guys, well, I need 2 people that want to try. Okay, take this spoon. Cheers. Tastes like foam of beer. You know, if you want, so you can try to take, but you know, I don't have more spoon. Okay, I tried. It's a good answer.
It's weird. I don't know what it tastes like. What to compare it
This
to?
is your finger. If you don't mind, you can do your finger. Someone else?
¿Qué eres? ¿Tipo de
Es como... No, tiene... Malta.
I like that idea. That's a good one. Thank you.
You know, when the family, when the adults used to eat that in the parties,
Not bad.
the kids used to say, I want. That's why they created something similar, but it's sweet.
I feel like I need a shape.
¿Esto cómo se llama?
Ponche. It's called ponche.
It has like the malt, like the beer.
Yeah.
Like the yeast. It's not necessarily alcoholic.
I don't know.
Won't get me drunk.
Or you need like a lot, a whole bit. It's so cute.
Okay. Yes. It's good. Different. The people of Quito, they love it. So great. Okay. So he's saying that you're trying just a little bit. You need to eat one little. Okay. Like a beer, eggs, and milk. Okay. So guys, we can keep going. Okay. Gracias, Lucy.
Sí, gracias, Bessie.
My parents moved to New York. What about you?
I want to talk, guys, about. Can you see the pieces of wood there? That is, you can smell it. Can you smell it? It's called palo santo in Spanish, right? Why do you think, guys, they have palo santo, this kind of wood, with fire smoking in the entrance of the churches?
Keep demons out.
Sorry?
Keep devils out.
To keep devils out, yes, that was one of the main reasons. But, guys, there is another thing behind of that. You know, how I told you, in the past, the people were very, very, very Catholic, and that's why when they were like a Sundays, when the fathers give the mass, a lot of people used to go inside, right? I have a question for you. How many times per year do you think the people used to take a showers in the ancient times?
Once.
Once,
Twice.
twice. Okay? The people that had the possibility, they used to take like a one shower like in their whole lives. Have you ever seen like in the pictures that the people, the very important people, use like how do you say pelucas? You know, to cover
Like
the
wigs?
hair.
Wigs?
Yeah, with the other thing, like a fake hair,
Yeah,
something like
pelucas,
that.
a wig, yeah.
A white thing to cover their heads. Why? Because they used to have like some animals that used to jump between the heads because they never had showers. And imagine in a Sunday morning, more than 300-400 people in the same church all together, and they never had a shower in their lives. How do you think used to smell that?
Amazing.
Very bad, right? So that's why they used to put that, the Palo Santo, in every corner of the church in a way to avoid the bad smell. But of course, they used to say, okay, it's a way to protect the church from the bad spirits, to keep how he said, the devils outside. But it was for a second reason as well, because of the bad smell. The second thing, guys, in the past, they were not like a toilet systems in the houses, right? How they used to do the number one and number two? Can you see over there, guys, the flowers in the balconies? Can you see the flowers at the balcony? Those are the geraniums, right? Why you can find geraniums everywhere in the historical center of Quito? It's for another reason, guys. In the past, in the middle of the street, used to exist like a channel, right? When the people wanted to do the number one and the number two, they used to do next to the balconies. They used to collect in the recipients. And when they were ready to throw out to the street, they used to say the famous phrase, aguas van, aguas vienen. When you hear aguas van, aguas vienen, you need to run because the people is going to throw out the number one and number two to the channels on the streets. And these channels used to connect with other channels and connect with the rivers, right? So that's why they have the geraniums in the balconies. Why? Because the geraniums, it's like a mosquito repellent. They don't allow to the mosquitoes go inside of the houses. And also they used to have a lot because also they smell a little bit good in a way to avoid the bad smell of the streets. That's why, guys, in all of the historical center of Quito, you're going to see a lot of geraniums. But now, it's not because looks beautiful. They look beautiful, but in the past has the reason that is because of that. So nowadays, if you hear aguas van, aguas vienen, but obviously it's impossible, you need to run. Okay? Basically, I just wanted to tell you about that. Okay? Questions? No? Let's go, guys, to the next. Entonces dice que aguas van, aguas vienes. Entonces cuando tú escuchabas, si estabas en la calle, escuchabas de eso, tenías que salir corriendo porque iban a lanzar eso a la calle. Entonces por eso les decía que los balcones dan muchos geranios porque ellos prevenían de que los mosquitos ingresaran a la casa y también tienen. We are in front of one of the most famous churches of the historical center, the Company of Jesus Church. Okay? I will explain you more in the chocolate factory, but I want to show you something interesting. Have you ever seen a $1 bill? Yes? Have you ever seen a $1 bill? Yes, 1 second. Okay. Okay, guys. Excellent. In the back part of the $1 bill, sorry, I'm going to take the other bill. You have this symbol, right? Can you see the triangle with the eye? Right? What is that? What it means that?
The all-seeing eye.
Illuminatis, Masons, I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you see the triangle with the eye, right? So guys, you have 1 minute to find the same triangle with the eye in front of the church. You have 1 minute. Tienes 1 minuto para encontrar, sí, ahí al frente de la iglesia. Yes? you know, that is a very interesting symbol, but what the people that work inside says, they say that triangle means the Father, the Holy Spirit, and the Son. This is what they say that it means. But of course, this is a symbol of other things. So that's why, you know, the only thing that I know that these order religions were one of the most intelligent order religions order religions that arrived to Ecuador. Scientifics, astronomics, they were part of these order religions. So basically now, it will be up to you to believe what else it means. But what is the meaning according to them? Holy Spirit, Father, and Son. They said what it means, okay? But maybe it could mean means something else, okay? So, guys, we're going to let's go here. Let's go. Okay, chicos. Well, we already saw, yeah, that thing. Okay. So another important thing, it's about this building. At the top it says Banco Central del Ecuador, right? Because it was one of the first central banks of Ecuador. Yes. How I told you guys, in the 1998, Ecuador started one of the biggest economical crises, right? In the 1998, that basically, to make sure the history, the government, Jamil Mawad, was the person that decided to change the currency from the sucres into the US dollars. Because he said, okay, that is going to help us to pass the crisis, but it was not like this, right? So, and in the year of the 2000, Ecuador officially started to use the US dollars. Nowadays, this building is just a museum of the currency. If you go like to see like the history of the currency, they have tours of like a 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, where they are going to tell you the history of all of the currency. But the last one is the US dollars. But before of that, we had sucres. More or less, to give an idea, like 15,000 sucres was equal to $1. Basically, the sucres were nothing. So that's why we started to use the US dollars. A lot of banks broke down during those times. A lot of people died with heart attacks. A lot of people lost all their money because the banks broke down. So that's why a lot of people left the country during this year. Okay, so it's that building. And finally, well, questions about this part? Yes. Well, I'm going to show you. Yeah. Please, guys, pay attention to the violet building. Can you see the angels, the little angels, right? Can you please look at the first one? The first angel over there. What is the differences between the first one than between the others? Chicos, we have some angels, like little baby angels over there. Which one is the difference between the first one with the rest of them?
It's not covered up.
Yes. Can you see the third leg?
La pinga, yeah.
Yeah. Why? Because the legend say that, you know, these order religious, they borrow money to him, right? But they never pay him the money. That's why the owner of the house, they put the little extra thing in the middle of the legs in front of the church, because in those times were very, very offensive. So that's why, you know, they realized that was there like a couple of years ago, but they decided to paint nowadays in a way like a symbol to say that yes, these people didn't want to pay him, so that's why they put him the extra thing in the middle of the legs in front of the church, because in that way, when everyone comes to the church, they come from here, they look there, and go inside of the church. So it was like a kind of offensive thing for them, but was on purpose. Okay, so guys, now we're going to go to the chocolate factory, and we're going to cross next to this. In the corner is one of the stations of the subway. Okay, as you know, guys, since the 1st of December of 2023. Ecuador finally has the first subway of Ecuador, okay? So they have 35 kilometers, like around 12 stations, and now it's the easy way to cross the city from the north to the south. And the price of the entrance is just 45 cents. It's one of the newest subways of all South America, and yes, one of the entrances is over there. At the end of the walking tour, if you want to go back with me to the hostel by the subway, we can go back by the subway to the hostel. Well, we have to walk 4 blocks from the hostel, okay? But after the visiting of the historical center, if you want to go walk with me that way, you go down with me, okay? And you can see how is the subway of the Quito city. Yes? So now, guys, let's go to the... Okay, thank you. Bueno chicos, vamos a las chocolates. We're going to visit the chocolate factory. We have an important church in front of the chocolate factory, the San Francisco Church, okay? Hola. My friends, welcome. Welcome. There with a lot of balconies, out of the noise of the city. Okay, guys, let's go upstairs to the chocolate factory. They told people, please, guys, be careful with your heads because this is a little small. So if you please go down a little bit, okay? It's just for the 3 tall people that I see here. Be careful with your heads, okay? What is the lady that we're toilets. So we're going to wait for the tour guide, but I want to tell you something very interesting. You know, the cocoa beans in the past, they were used as a currency, right? You know that they were very, very expensive. But 2024, the price of the cocoa beans is higher than the higher price of the history. Right now, it's very, very expensive. So that, I don't know how to say toneladas. Toneladas? Tons? You know? Tons, right?
Ah,
The
tons.
tons. Nowadays, 1 ton of cocoa beans is $10,000. It was just in $1,500 more or less, but right now it's in $10,000. That's well. In the past, the cocoa beans they were called the golden beans. If in the past we were called the golden beans, how we call them nowadays, right? So that's why there are a lot of stickers in social medias that it's saying in the past. So it's telling to the ladies, yeah, or the ladies to the men. So if you didn't want to be with me when the cocoa beans was costing like a cent, I'm not going to accept you now that the cocoa beans is cost a lot of dollars, right? Because nowadays it's very expensive, right? And they are going to explain the differences between the cocoa beans, but I just want to let you know that the cocoa beans are very, very, very expensive right now. This is expensive than other products in the market. So now you're going to eat a good chocolate that is made with a really good quality cocoa beans. Okay? Right there. Amigo, vamos a ver.
¿Cuándo tenemos?
Lo que tú quieras. O sea, 30 nomás, para que ir a comer empanadas.
Ya, dale.
Okay, friends, so tell me, what do you know about chocolate? What do you know about chocolate? It's good, yes. What else? Sweet. Yes. You love it? Yes. Yeah, okay. Yes. And it's delicious, yes. Okay, so Ecuador is the first exporter of cacao since 1820. The first place that exported cacao was Los Rios province in Ecuador, yes? If we look for the map, this city that is the capital of this part, we are going to see a small Eiffel Tower there, yes? That represents the French community in that effect. Because the French people, they discovered the fine cacao of aroma in Ecuador, yes? The first brand that France made with our chocolate was known like the Les Paul Cap Le Monde du Chocolat. It means the word of chocolate in English, yes? In the beginning, Ecuador exported 800,000 pounds. In 1970, we got a virus that ended with the majority quantities of this fine cacao of aroma. For that now, Ecuador produces 200,000 pounds per year. For we can taste chocolate, we are gonna use our senses, our ear, our nose, and our tongue for this. Get it? Welcome to Jumbo's Chocolate. We have our factory in Quito that is not at the club. Get it? We handle different percentages to 60 to 100% pure chocolate, and another ones we added flavors in it. Yes? So, which one would you like to try first? 70 or 100? Okay, let's go. Don't eat it. Number one, look for the shine in your chocolate. Look for the shine in it. Yes, can you see a shine in it? A little bit? Yes? If you can find a small shine in your chocolate, it means that your chocolate has 20% of cacao butter. Cacao butter is the fat that comes from the cacao beans and permits that our chocolates be eatable. Without cacao butter, chocolate bars are something like an stomach and a trap. Yes? But not all the chocolate industries use this where we can eat the chocolate. Yes? Now, if your chocolate is less shine, it means that your chocolate has a low quantity of cacao butter and it's not healthy for us. If your chocolate is less shine, it has more quantity of sugar. Yes? What is the percentage that is considered a healthy chocolate? To 70 to 100%. Yes? Second step. Not even a day showing your nose so you can smell flavors. Smell it. What do you smell? Chocolate and pants. It's something like a perfume, yes? Step 3. Put the chocolate on your tongue and hold your breath like 10 seconds. This chocolate of 100% produces astringency, for that your mouth is dry now. The same thing happens when we try citrus fruits. It means that this 100% has citrus in it of a natural way. And the natural flavors that we can try are coffee, almonds, and nuts. You taste that maybe? Yes? The next, the 85%. Yes, sure. Yes, you like it? It's rated at 100 because you love sugar. So, how do you feel your mouth? Wet or dry?
Wet.
In all our tongue, we have receptors of flavors. In the first part, we can taste your flavors. In the last part, the bitterness. If your mouth is wet, it means that you are trying sweet fruits in your chocolate. If your mouth is dry, you are trying citrus fruits. Yes? In this 85%, we can taste cherries, mandarins, and bananas. Who tasted cherries? Okay, bananas, mandarins, nothing?
If you don't taste nothing, maybe you have to.
Yes. So, in Ecuador, we have a special cacao plant. The name is fine cacao of aroma. This plant can absorb the flavors of another plants around it and can reproduce these flavors in the seeds. For example, if I harvest my cacao plant in the middle of another plants that could be coffee, mangoes, mandarins, my cacao absorbs all the flavors and can find them. Yes, when this plant has humidity, absorb the flavors throughout the roots. Yes, what is the maximum distance it can absorb the flavors? 5 meters. And the common plant that people harvest around this tree is a banana tree. Yes, like a part of our tour, we are gonna try the real seed of cacao. Yes, now we're gonna smell the fruit, and after that we're gonna try the seed. Okay? You tell me what you see, please.
A little, yeah, but very, very light, like not.
Two. It's,
Yeah?
it's
Yes, cacao nibs is a piece from the bean, but when you smash this bean, you can see a small pieces. Get? This is double chocolate. Get? Chocolate plus the raw bean. Get? The bean of cacao is made with the 100% of organic chocolate. Yes, 50% cacao butter, 50% pure chocolate together. Yes, if we take off the shells of this bean, we're gonna see a small shine that cover the bean. This is shine cacao butter. How do we extract the cacao butter? In a press machine. We press all the dry seeds and we extract the cacao butter. Yes? Now, if someday you wanna make chocolate in your house, choose the brown seed because the dark one is older. This is more fresh. This is more fresh. With meat. Chocolate.
I get 2 from.
Okay. Like the coffee has the caffeine here. The theobromine activate endorphins in our brain and give us happiness and energy. But like when we try chocolate, we say, that's so activating. Yes? The words of cacao and chocolate comes from native language of Mexico called the Nahuatl that was spoken by the Aztecs. They write in these words something like cacahuatl and chocolate with X for chocolate. Yes? Don't forget that around the planet, only 3 kind of plants can absorb the flavors of another plants. Ecuadorian chocolate is the first one. Do you know which ones are another ones? Ideas? All the mornings when you wake up, you go to the kitchen and you pour
Coffee.
10 points. And the third one? Yes, the plants that can absorb the flavors of another plants. We have coffee, cacao, ideas? Okay, the third one is a fruit that in the history people patch with their feet to get the liquor. Grapes. Cacao, coffee, and grapes can absorb the flavors of another plants. Okay? The next. Orange peel. You like it?
Yeah.
So, how do we make the chocolate bars? The first thing for we can make chocolate bars is pick up all the fresh ones. We put this mix in these fermentation boxes. We cover the boxes with banana leaves. Inside of the boxes, we're gonna find the small bacteria that help us to eat the embryo part of the seed. After 1 week, the white part is start to drop a honey, and we receive the liquor of cacao. Yes? After 2 weeks, we got the dry seed. In this part, we roasted the beans for separate the shells from the beans. With the shells, we do tea of cacao. With the beans, we produce the chocolate bars. Good? Tea, chocolate. We put all the nibs in a conching machine. This machine evaporates the nibs in 45 degrees until they become the nib in a base of cacao. By 3 days, we put the base in a marble table with other flavors and the raw sugar. We save in a freezer by 2 days. We review the qualities in our chocolates with salt chocolate bars. Yes? How many time do we take for we can make all the process? 3 weeks. Yes? How many pots do we use for we can make 1 chocolate bar? 2 of those. Yes? How many seeds you can find in each pot? 40 or 42 beans. Yes? University question. Do you know how many beans do we use for we can make 1 chocolate bar? 80 beans, yes. University question again. Do you know which country made the first chocolate bar around the world? No.
Belgium. France.
Which country made the first chocolate bar around the world? No.
England.
England, yes. UK made the first chocolate bar in 1842 with the Fries and Sons Company. Yes, with Ecuadorian top. Yes? Do you know which country made chocolate with milk?
Swiss.
Switzerland, yes, with Cayenne chocolate in 1870. At the same time, for the people of US, in Pennsylvania, Hershey's was created the same. Do you like Hershey's? Hershey. So, what is the percentage that is considered chocolate to 60 to 100%? Less than 60, we are not eating chocolate, we are eating fat and sugar. Yes? If we compare some percentage, we're gonna see how the color changes, okay? We have the 160 and 30% with milk. Hundred 30%. This is white chocolate, the bar we call chocolate to the bean. It's true that the fat comes from here, but never is the same. White chocolate is considered like fake chocolate because lost the properties of dark chocolate. Yes? But what is the white chocolate? 100% butter, milk, sugar, chemical compounds. Yes? So, the next and the last one, this is our champion chocolate, the coffee beans. Steve, Ashley, Steve, Ashley, and Anna, they are gonna take a small piece of this 85% in their fingers by 15 seconds. After that, they are gonna drop the chocolate and we are gonna see what happened with that. You ready?
You try it?
Okay, we there. Can you help me to count to 15 in India language, please? Okay, in Denmark language. Okay, time. Please drop the chocolate in your hand. Drop it. Show your fingers to the public. Can you see the fingers? Yes, are clean. Do you know why? It's pure chocolate.
Pero si quieres aquí tengo otro chocolate que vean lo mismo para que vean cómo se ve con chocolate normal.
Okay, one participant more now.
O ellos
Who
mismos
wants?
quieran.
Please go here. Yes, after. Yes. What's your Anton. Okay, Anton. Okay, please. Count to 15. Okay, now in English, okay? 1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Have you seen it?
Yes? So, now, what happens when you go to the supermarkets and you buy chocolate bars? They melt, yes? Because around the planet, the industries use highest percentage of this fat, chemical compounds like palm oil and soy lecithin that replace the color and flavor of chocolate, yes? Do you know how many times have you tried pure chocolate in your life? Today the first time, yes. Clap for them.